After House Republicans last week were forced to back off their plan to gut an independent ethics body, they decided to come up with a new plan that was going to allow them to still break the law but never be held accountable. A few days ago, they passed a new rule that says that documents obtained by a member of the House for any purpose or created by a member of the House for any purpose are now property of that member. They're not property of the U.S. government and therefore are not eligible to be subpoenaed in any House ethics investigation. So what this means is that, say, a guy like Paul Ryan writes a note to his staffer and says, you know, I have a conflict of interest in this case, but I'm not going to recuse myself because I'm going to make a lot of money. Hands that to the staffer. In the past, that document would be considered property of the U.S. government and subject to a subpoena if an ethics investigation ever came about. But now, that document is the property of Paul Ryan. And if Paul Ryan says, no, you cannot have it, the Ethics Committee cannot issue a subpoena. They cannot obtain that document proving illegal activity by a member of the House. And that's the goal here, because this doesn't just apply to the House of Representatives. This will also apply to Donald Trump's cabinet picks, people who do have very clear conflicts of interest in the departments that they're overseeing. They're going to make a ton of money off of these departments, and in order to avoid conflicts of interest, they can either sell off all their shares and make nothing, or House Republicans can tweak the rules a little bit and allow them to make a ton of money and never once face any kind of serious ethics inquiry. That is the purpose of this. The Republicans know that there is going to be so much crime, because that's the only word you can use to describe what's going to happen, crime. There's going to be so much of that we have to change the rules so that nobody can be prosecuted. I mean, how horrible must this group of people be that they know the only way they can not break the law is to get rid of the laws? I mean, this is mafia type stuff here. This is, Wall Street level corruption and greed and criminal activity. And that's going on inside the House of Representatives, and it's going to be going on inside of Donald Trump's government. And the Republicans are doing everything possible to make sure that we, the public, cannot know what's going on, and that independent ethics review bodies cannot know what's going on. And even your fellow members of the House of Representatives in the Ethics Committee will not know what's going on. And that's the way the Republicans want it. They don't want anybody looking over their shoulder. They don't want anybody reading their confidential documents. And the only reason for that could be that those documents contain some pretty damning information.